friends, happy Tuesday, February 4th. February 4th, 43 years ago, I became a mom. Today is our our firstborn birthday. He is 43. At 10:26 in the morning, I had an emergency C-section and became a mom. So my kids don't watch my videos, and I don't expect them to, because you know, they both, I have a daughter too, or we have a daughter too, a younger daughter, but they both work and families and sports with kids and all that stuff. So but anyways, today is his birthday, and I've already sent him several things for his birthday. So but how are y'all doing? I'm in my craft room, my sewing room, my happy place. I can't sit in it too long yet. The sciatica is about 95% now, I would say. But I started this sewing project last year, and it was called the Trip Around the World, and several stages to it. You can start out with 2.5-inch strips, light and darks, and then you sew them all together, and then you have to sew them in a tube and then cut them into 2.5-inch shorter strips, and then you repick or unpick a seam to make it long again, and then you pick the next one so it graduates down that same color. So I'm doing that mystery quilt along, and that doesn't start until Sunday, and so clue 4 comes out tomorrow, and then we won't have any more clues until Sunday. And she always, for our time here, Eastern Standard Time, she always starts at, I get the first clue at 9 a.m. There's no way that this body is in the sewing room at 9 a.m. at this age. I have to have coffee, I have to be awake and stuff. So but so I came in here to do that, and I finished sewing all my panels. I will you probably would have saw it. I might have showed it at the beginning, I'm not for sure. So and I showed you the finish, 2 of the finished squares. So I am going to, because I got them all sewn, they're just waiting to be pressed. You see, they're all right here. I got 4 panels that need to be pressed and then folded. When I say folded, because they're like this, and then you fold it like this and then sew this down, so then it becomes a tube, and then you straighten the edge by cutting it, and then you just cut them in 2.5-inch strips, and they look like this. And then on the seam up here, you unpick it so that you can open it up. So if, let's say, this purple one was the first one, then the next strip I pick up, I have to pick so that this will be the top one, so that it will just keep going down. So, and I have all the stacks over here from last year, but you know, at least I'm doing it. So y'all, this modern day homestead retirement that Mr. Jerry and I have, where I do a bunch of canning and gardening and freezing and all the things, and I thought I wanted to try beef stock, beef broth, and we had went and we got some beef bones like everybody says to do, and they tell you that you then bake them for so long, and then the way that I did it is the way my friend does it, is that we threw it in our Instapot, like 3 pounds at a time, and it takes like 2 hours to cook it like that on the soup broth, and then you let it natural release, and then when it's done, you can sit there and you know, scoop the bones out and get rid of that, and then strain it, and then put the broth in the refrigerator so that when it cools off, all the fat will come to the top and you can scrape it off, and then you reheat it because it will become like a gelatin, and then you reheat it on the stove to get it, you know, hot again, and then I'll have to pressure can it. And so I thought, yep, I'm going to do that. Everybody I've watched, this looks really good. They say it tastes so much better than store-bought and everything. Y'all, I'm not gonna, at this point, there's no way I'm doing it again. It's not difficult at all. The smell is awful. The smell is awful. Oh my goodness. It is awful. And so, and it's the dead of winter. But I'm telling you, by 4:30, no, it was 6:30 last night, the kitchen window was open, and as I was straining it, the last batch, because I thought there's no way, because it was bothering Jerry, it was bothering me, and my friend who did this, I wish she would have said something, because I would not have bought the bones. But when I was telling her at the end that I got the last batch in, and then one batch was still going in the crock pot, because I wanted them all done yesterday so that this morning the last batch could be in the refrigerator, and then by Wednesday or Thursday, depends on the weather, because we're supposed to have some ice coming in, I will pressure can it. And I was telling her that, and she goes, yeah, she goes, she makes a lot of this. And she says the only thing that she doesn't like about it is the smell. And she also cans deer meat and stuff. And she says, I don't like the smell of when I can deer meat. And I'm like, well, I'm glad you said something. But in my head, I'm thinking, I wish you would have said something sooner. I told Jerry, I said, not again. I just can't. So this morning, I woke up at 10 to 6, went to the bathroom, went back to bed, and I could smell it. And so I got up and I turned all my smelly units on, you know, and sprayed, you know, to get that smell out. And I laid in bed, and I laid there until about 7 o'clock. Could not go back to sleep. So Miss Teri got up at 7, and I just thought, it's been 18 hours. Well, it would have been 18 hours with it. They said 8 to 10. And so I just took care of it. He was sleeping, and I just, you know, double bagged the bones up and everything, set it out for him to do where the others were and stuff. And then when he got up, and had his breakfast, then the little bit that was left to clean up, he hand washed it, and everything from last night was in the dishwasher. So but that smell is still here, not as bad as it was, but I just couldn't, my tummy just said no more. And I have problems with my sinuses anyways, and the weather yesterday was in the 40s, and today it's in the 20s, and we have a winter, they're not calling it an ice storm, but we could get not even, what they say, 0.01, yeah, 0.1. Down in Kalamazoo below us, they could get a 10th. So I'm hoping that they're correct, because no, but they're not calling it an ice storm. So because it's supposed to be 35 tomorrow. So once the temps go up, it's going to melt, and then, but we're supposed to get a couple inches of snow. So, but I told Jerry, I said, once I can these, I said, these are going to only be used for emergencies right now, because I said, I just can't. There's just the thought of it. And I know that when I reheat it, there's going to be a little bit more smell, but not like it was. So, but yeah, I don't know how everybody does it. I really don't. Either they've got windows open and doors open, they don't tell you, or it doesn't bother them. So, but anyways, so I went out in the sunroom this morning after I got that done, and about 7:30, and just laid there and went back to sleep for about an hour. And then Jerry got up and came out, and he, you know, and I still laid there because my tummy still wasn't feeling the greatest. But I have problems with my sinuses where if I run what I call the smellies, that is our wax burners, if I run them too long, it will give me a sinus headache. So, but these will be running because they're not in my sewing room, they're not in the sunroom. There is a small one in the kitchen, and then there's the small one out in the family room. So, and I really can't smell them when I'm out there. So, but nope, never again. I can absolutely say 100% never again. And I sure hope that they're good. It was so bad that I basically kept saying to Jerry, I got 2 batches. That third one that's already going, you can just unplug it and you can just dump it out someplace. Don't dump it down the drain because the fat will clog the plug stuff up. But I said, I'm done. I don't want this anymore. And of course, he's like, no, because that's like $10 or so down the drain. And I'm like, I don't care at this point. Oh, I can laugh about it now, but it wasn't funny last night because neither one of us felt good. I'll tell you, we had cereal for supper because it just was making our tummies it's just an awful smell. Yeah. So this morning, I got to go back out on my devotions. I got to finish a couple more devotions. I did half of them. I have so many devotions that are good right now that it takes me a good hour and a half in the morning, and I only did half of them this morning, and finally got some coffee and got my smoothie, and then went back out and worked on another donation hat. And Jerry doesn't like it at all. He likes the pattern, and I like the pattern, but I was just using what I had in my stash, and I like the pattern. But she calls, it was crocheted, and she calls for an H hook, and to get her gauge, I had to go down to a G, and on a 4 weight, a G on some of this was almost too big for that crochet hook. But the pattern was really easy, and I kept getting her gauge. She has, right when you first start, how to check what your gauge should be, and if you're not at this, right, when like hers, then you need to go down or you need to go up to whatever her gauge is on the rim. And then once you do the pattern, you need to measure it, and it should be from rim to the top before you start cinching and stuff. It should be a certain inches, I think 8.5 inches, and I was spot on. The only thing I didn't, it was different because she had you half double crochet only one time to cinch it in a little bit, and then the rest, so you have this big hole like this, and then the rest, well, it might have been a little bit bigger like that, and then the rest you just took the you cut a long strand of your yarn, and then you threaded a needle, and you went through every stitch all the way around, and then you pulled it tight. And the problem is it would only get down to like a nickel size up on top, but it kind of matched the other holes. But if you just went around and around, it would finally tighten it, and that's what I did. But I think with that, when I did that, it actually cinched it in even more so on different areas. But as for donation, it'll be fine. It fits me, it fits Jerry. It's just a tad bit slouchy, like it feels like this much up on the crown back here. But I think it's supposed to be. But it's a really cute pattern. I'll be showing and talking about that more on Friday. But you'll get to see a sneak peek of it, so stay tuned after our talk here. But other than that, I think I am going to go back to the sunroom. I gotta finish, like I said, my other devotions, and I started a new Valentine doily, and the first part came out on Sunday, because I worked on it Sunday, and I thought the second part would be out yesterday, and it just came out today. So and I think there's only 2 parts, but it has pineapple design in it, but it's a heart. It's really cute. So I want to work on that this afternoon. I've been working on my socks. I have 3 of them going right now, and kind of all over the place, just kind of like some days like my weight loss and my weight loss journey. And I know a lot of you are on here for how did Miss Teri do. I am happy to say that I lost 1 pound. Now I've put on over 3 weeks 3 pounds, so I lost up 1 pound of that 2 pounds, but it's going down the right way. So and I didn't starve myself by any means, and I tracked everything, and I still ate stuff. I mean, one night we had chips and cheese, a small plate. You know, we buy those Santos or something chips, and then we put Colby Jack cheese over it, and I counted all. I mean, for that little plate worth, it's probably like 9 or 10 points. But I thought, you know, I cannot deny myself on the nights that we want to have for supper chips and cheese on a Sunday night. So but yeah, so I was really pleased with that. And so I've already tracked my breakfast. Not for sure for lunch yet what I want. I'm not too hungry right yet. It just might be yogurt, and oh, I got some grapes, maybe some grapes. Have any of you tried those, what are they called? Autumn Crunch or Autumn something from Aldi's grapes? They're big globe ones. They're supposed to be sweeter and crunchier. They are crunchy. Mine aren't overly sweet like the candy ones are. So, but they're pretty good. So I might have some yogurt, and I might have some of those because I'm not overly hungry today. I still think it's because that smell is in the air a little bit, you know, and I don't know. I haven't been too hungry at lunch. I'm finding that, of course, I've been pushing my fluids. I got my pink lemonade in my quart jar right here, and I'll have like 2 of those in a day. And I'm finding that I usually eat breakfast anywhere from 9:30 to 10 because I take a thyroid pill and I have to wait a good hour or 2 before I eat. And so by the time I have my smoothie, it's during my devotions and stuff, and that smoothie can take me anywhere from a half hour to 45 minutes. And so usually Jerry usually eats about 1 to 1:30, something like that. And so I'm usually not hungry until like 2 or 2:30. Well, if we eat supper at 6, I don't want something super big like a salad. Now the other day, instead of having my big awesome bowl of salad, because usually it's a big awesome bowl, I actually put the bowl, a smaller bowl, on my Weight Watcher scale, and I weighed out. It says one serving is 85 grams. I think what dumped out was 90. I thought it was close enough. So what I was probably eating was 3 servings. But the toppings then are less because it's a smaller one. But I always usually do an apple in it. The last few times I have not. I just had like not even, let's see, probably 2 tablespoons of raisins in it, and a slice of Colby Jack cheese from Aldi's, and croutons, the serving size, 7 grams, whatever that is, and some type of meat in it, and usually it is turkey, and is like the carved turkey, and then my boathouse dressing. So then that's usually my lunch. And so on the days I'm not hungry, I'll do a smaller salad because I don't want to be overstuffed for supper. So but yeah, so those are my plans for today. I'm glad that I was able to come in here and at least finish my sewing and finish that donation hat. I think I'm up to 10 now. And yeah, just whittling away at my crafts and looking at garden stuff. I just ordered some. I decided I'm going to grow some of my flowers this year too. So I ordered some zinnias and marigolds and snapdragons. What was the other one? Nasturtium. Yeah. So, but y'all know that when they come in, I'm going to take you along because I got a new garden book, a planner book, and once I get all the seeds here, then I need to look because I need to start my celery within the next couple of weeks. Well, the latest would be the end of February. So, because celery takes 100 to 120 days, and we're in zone 6A. So, but anywho, this has been long enough. So, I will let you go, and I am hoping that your weight loss journey is going great. And if it's not, hang on, my friend. Like I've been told before, this is a lifetime. It takes time. And we just need to dust ourselves off and do the best that we can. And some days for me, it is taking it one meal at a time or one snack at a time, or just deciding that I've got to just do what I can do for that day. So, but anyways, thanks again, and I will chit chat with y'all later.